Chapter 7. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The secret of courage. Imagine walking through a dark valley surrounded by towering mountains. On one side, it seems like there's nothing but darkness and danger ahead. As you take each step, the shadows grow longer and more menacing, whispering threats you can't quite make out. You're alone, or so it seems. Suddenly, the bravest thing you've ever done becomes a must. You must keep moving forward. You have no choice. And in that moment, your perspective shifts. You realize that you're not alone. Someone, something, some force is with you, every step of the way, guiding you, comforting you, assuring you that you'll make it through safely. The air grows heavy with anticipation. Every sense is on high alert. Fear threatens to overwhelm you, but then you hear a familiar voice, calm, steady, reassuring. The voice reminds you that you're stronger than you think, more loved than you feel, and more protected than you can imagine. With renewed strength, you continue on, facing the darkness head on, knowing that you're never truly alone. The journey is arduous, but hope sustains you. You've come too far to turn back now. And as you walk, you remember that even in the darkest moments, light is never far behind. Slowly, the end of the tunnel comes into view, beckoning you towards safety and solace. Hope returns, chasing away the shadows that have clung to you so tightly. You emerge from the darkness, blinking against the sudden brightness, realizing that you have survived the ordeal. The valley of death, the shadow of death, whatever it may have been, you made it through. You didn't have to face it alone. You had someone with you, supporting you, loving you, protecting you. As you look back at the valley, you see not just the darkness, but also the light that guided you through it. And you know that whenever you face similar challenges in the future, you won't have to walk alone. Now, if you can relate to that story, stick around, because Psalm 23 holds the key to overcoming any challenge you might face. Verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. At first glance, this verse seems to be about facing death itself, about not fearing evil even in the darkest hour. But let's unpack the depths of these words and discover the hidden secret within. First off, let's talk about that valley. David didn't mean just any valley. He was referring specifically to the valley of the shadow of death, a mysterious place where the darkness seems impenetrable and danger lurks around every corner. Think about a time when you faced a situation that seemed impossible to overcome, a challenge that loomed over you, casting a long shadow of fear and uncertainty. We've all been there, whether it was a health scare, a financial crisis, a failing relationship, or a personal struggle. These valleys can feel like a dark labyrinth with no exit in sight. Second, consider the phrase, the shadow of death. It's not just about literal death, but the shadow it casts, the fear, the uncertainty, the despair, and the feeling of hopelessness that comes with it. When you're stuck in this shadow, even the smallest step forward feels daunting. The road ahead seems treacherous, littered with obstacles that threaten to knock you off your feet. Now, David could have stopped there, emphasizing the difficulty of the terrain, the danger of the path, and the emotional toll it takes on us. But he didn't. He had something more profound to say. In the midst of this darkness, he found a guiding light, a source of strength that helped him navigate the treacherous terrain. He wrote, I will fear no evil. There's a confidence in these words, a quiet assurance that echoes with unwavering certainty. Despite the darkness, despite the danger, there's a resolute refusal to succumb to fear. David knew that fear wouldn't help him climb out of the valley. It wouldn't ease the pain or make the path any less daunting. Instead, he chose to confront his fears head on, to acknowledge them, to accept them, and to push forward with a newfound determination. But what was this source of strength that allowed him to face his fears with such bravery? As David continued, For thou art with me. Thou, refers to God, acknowledging the divine presence that walked alongside him through the darkest hours. It's a reminder that we're never truly alone, that there's always a helping hand reaching out to pull us back onto the path, a comforting voice whispering words of encouragement. When you feel like giving up, when the weight of your problem seems unbearable, remember David's words. Remember that you're not alone. God is with you, offering his strength, sharing your burden, and lighting your way. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The rod and the staff symbolize God's guidance and protection. The staff represents his love, his unwavering support, and his ability to lift and heal. The rod, on the other hand, symbolizes correction, redirection, and discipline. It's the gentle nudge that guides us back on the right path, the firm hand that steadies us when we stumble, and the shield that protects us from harm. When you face challenges, look beyond your immediate circumstances. Know that God is with you, not just in the sunshine and rainbows, but also in the dark and stormy weather. Trust in his guidance, embrace his love, and seek his strength in times of need. The hidden secret? God's presence brings light into the deepest darkness, turning fear into courage, doubt into faith, and despair into hope. Don't ever forget that even when you're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, God is with you. You don't have to be afraid, because he's got you covered. Chapter 8. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. The secret of God is loyalty. When you think of goodness and mercy, what comes to mind? Kindness, forgiveness, second chances, compassion. These words evoke feelings of warmth, solace, and healing. Now imagine those qualities chasing you, following you, accompanying you on your journey through life. That's exactly what David declares in the final verse of Psalm 23. But there is more to these words than meets the eye. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Let's break this down. First, goodness. We often associate goodness with acts of kindness, with helping others, with making the world a better place. But goodness can also be seen in the consistency of character, in the reliability of promises, in the faithfulness of a friend. Now think about your relationship with God. How consistent has he been in his love, his mercy, and his faithfulness? Remember the countless times he's shown up for you, the promises he's kept, the trials he's helped you through. His goodness isn't just in the big, dramatic moments, but in the everyday, ordinary instances as well. It's in the sunrise that greets you every morning, in the breath that fills your lungs and the heartbeat that keeps you alive, in the love that warms your heart, in the friendship that uplifts you, and in the faith that guides you. Secondly, let's talk about mercy. Mercy is the quality of being kind and forgiving when someone deserves punishment or hardship. It's the difference between justice and compassion. Consider the times when you've stumbled, when you've fallen short of expectations, when you've made mistakes. God's mercy is what forgives you, what heals you, and what sets you free from the burden of guilt and shame. His mercy isn't limited, it's boundless. It doesn't depend on your mood or your actions. It,